I don't tell this story much anymore. Not because I don't remember it. I remember every detail. I just stopped expecting people to believe me. This was back in my early days, out in western Pennsylvania, deep in the Allegheny. I was maybe 30 years into the work, young enough to think I'd seen everything, old enough to know I hadn't. I'd been called out to a small township over some missing livestock. Turned out to be the gate latch was bad and the animals had wandered half a mile down into the neighbor's lower field. 2 hours in the rain, a lot of mud on my boots, and nothing to show for it but a farmer too embarrassed to look me in the eye. I wrapped up around 11. Rain had been coming down since dusk. Not heavy. Just that cold, persistent kind that gets into your collar, no matter what you're wearing. I was headed back toward the main road when my headlights caught her. A woman, standing on the shoulder of Route 6. No car, no umbrella. Just standing there in a dark dress like she'd grown up out of the asphalt. Now, I want you to understand something. Route 6 out there, that's not a road you'd walk. There's nothing for miles in either direction. No houses, no gas stations, just tree line and fog, and the occasional deer that'll end your night real fast if you're not paying attention. I pulled over. She came to my passenger window before I even rolled it down. Moved quick, but not rushed. Graceful, almost. Like she knew I was going to stop before I did. I leaned over and opened the door. She got in. And the smell hit me before anything else. Lilacs and wet dirt. Not rain smell. Something older than that. Something that belonged to a garden or a churchyard. Not the inside of a car on a November night. I didn't say anything about it. I don't know why. It was just present. Like she carried it in from somewhere I couldn't place. I asked her where she was headed. She said, and I'll never forget the way she said it. She said, "Back toward town if it's no trouble, Constable." Constable. Nobody called me that. Not once in my career. Wasn't even sure what jurisdiction she thought we were in, but the way she said it wasn't strange to her. It was just a word she had for what I was. I pulled back into the road. She looked straight ahead, hands folded in her lap, and watching the road like she was reading something written on it. After a few minutes, she started talking. Not to me exactly, more like out loud. Like I happened to be there. She talked about her husband. Said he was a good man. Said he worked the land his whole life and never complained once. Not even when the winters got bad. Said he had a way of laughing that made whatever room he was in feel smaller and warmer. She talked about him the way you talk about someone when you're trying to hold on to them. Choosing each word carefully. like the words are the last thing keeping the memory from going dark. I asked if she knew where he was. She kept her eyes on the road. We were out driving, she said. The roads were bad, and then, I don't know. I've been looking ever since. I think he's still out here. I think if I keep to the roads, I'll find him. She said it in a way you'd say something reasonable, something with a simple solution, like she'd only just lost him. Like it hadn't been long at all. I didn't respond. I was looking at her when she finished. Really looking. And that's when it hit me. Her hair was dry. I don't mean towel dry. I mean untouched. I mean she'd walked through a steady rain from the shoulder to my car and sat down next to me, and not a single strand was out of place. Her dress, her hands, everything. Dry as if she'd stepped out of a warm kitchen. I don't know why I didn't see it when she got in. Maybe I did and I filed it somewhere I wasn't ready to open yet. That happens in this line of work more than I'd like to admit. You see something that doesn't fit, your brain just sets it aside. Keeps you functional. Keeps you from asking the question you're not ready to hear the answer to. I kept driving. She went quiet after that, just watched the road, and I let her. We rode in silence until the tree line broke and the first lights of the township came through the windshield. I glanced over to ask where she wanted to be dropped, and the seat was empty. Door closed, window up. I hadn't heard a thing. She was just gone, like she'd never been there at all. Like the cold spot beside me was all that was ever sitting there. And I pulled over and sat for a long time. I went back out on Route 6 the next morning, walking the shoulder both directions, found nothing. Asked around town quietly, the way you do when you don't want to sound like you've lost your mind. Nobody knew her. Years later, I was passing through a country seat in Ohio. Different case, different life. I stopped into the public library to use their archive, an old habit. I was looking through bound copies of a Western Pennsylvania Gazette, mid-century edition, when a photograph stopped me cold. And a woman in a dark dress, standing outside a farmhouse, smiling. Page 7. The obituaries. 4 lines. Her name, her husband's name, survived by nobody. The car found on Route 6. No explanation given. Not the kind of thing that made the front page. Not the kind of thing anybody lost sleep over. And the paper was dated 1958. And I closed the paper, carried it back to the desk without a word, pushed through the front door, and stood on the steps. Reached for my cigarettes. It took me 4 tries to get a light. And this is Hobbs. I've got more stories than I know what to do with.